so tell me a little bit about yourself and your name.
Hi, my name's Annie Freeman. I'm from Texoma, Oklahoma, which is in the Panhandle. It's the northwest part of Oklahoma, and it's about 5.5 hours from Stillwater.
Okay, so the name Texoma, does it stand for kind of where it is on
Yes,
the line?
Texoma, half of the town is in Texas, and the other half is in Oklahoma, and so it's just split right down the middle, basically by a highway and just population 1,200. It's a very small town, and our town motto is "A town so big it took two states to put us together," which that's obviously a joke because it's only 1,200 people. But yes, it is on the very tip of the panhandle of the Oklahoma.
Okay, so what made your family go to Texoma?
Well, my dad's whole family's from there, and his parents and their parents, and just goes back a really long time because we've been in the ranching and banking business there for over 3 generations.
Wow, 3 generations. So, kind of how did it get started?
Well, my family bought portions of our ranch in about the 1960s, and so it was a very long time ago. And then my grandpa, took it over after his father, and then same with my dad and my two uncles. And so it's just kind of been passed down, and we've just kept it going this whole time.
Okay, and what is the ranch called?
Well, we have two separate ranches. One is called the Anchor D Ranch, and the other one is called the Coldwater Ranch.
Oh, okay.
And one is on the north of town in Oklahoma, and the other one is the opposite direction of that one, and it is in Texas. And so covers three. We have a ranch in Texas County, and then another one in Sherman County. Sherman County is the one in Texas. Texas County is the one in Oklahoma.
That can be kind of confusing
It
to
is
explain.
confusing because you have to do a lot of taxes and everything through the Texas Land and Loan Company, and then you have the Oklahoma Land and Loan Company. So you have to do your taxes in two different states, so it can get pretty confusing.
Wow. So you said there's two ranches. So is there kind of a purpose for one compared to the other one?
There is a little bit. We run cattle and we have horses on both ranches. The Coldwater, the one in Oklahoma, it's more of an operational ranch. That's where we keep most of our cattle, and we also have a feed yard right on that ranch also.
Feed yard?
A feed yard is where you can keep numerous cattle at one time, and you can have a grain operation to where you feed, 2 to 3 times a day. It's kind of like, you've probably seen on the news, like where what a feedlot is, or like whenever all those chickens are together, or hogs. It's kind of like that. It's like a kind of an assembly line type of thing. They're every time they're fed at the same time, they eat at the same time, and it's versus there's feedlot versus pasture graze, and we do both just depending on the weather. But whenever the weather's bad, whenever it's really dry, we keep all of our cattle in the feed yard, which is more expensive than them grazing out on the field, the pastures, just eating the grass. That's a lot more cheaper than having to buy the feed and everything for them. So, but it's been really great these past 3 years. We've been out of a drought, and all of the cattle have got to graze on the open land, which has been very beneficial for all the farmers and ranchers in the area.
Wow, that's awesome. So do you still being at school play a role in kind of the feedlot operation and just the cattle and horses and things of that nature?
Yeah, I have an older brother, and he's very much involved. He's back home now, working with my dad and my uncles, and I kind of chose to do a different path. I'm not really majoring in any type of agriculture or banking or finance field, but I still definitely play a role. I grew up on the ranch and living there, and going every day with my dad, and just always be a part of me no matter where I'm at. I don't always have to be being fully involved in the situation, but it's always going to be close to me.
So what was that like living kind of in that environment and being able to go out to the ranch and things like that growing up?
I feel like it taught me a really hard work, a basis of a really good work ethic. Not a lot of kids can say that that they were young and their dad was, taking them on a horse when they were 5 years old, to go gather a pasture. And I really did do that with my dad. And, just learning different chores and things like that really taught me, to respect where I came from and where I came from. A lot of people here in Stillwater are from a city and from a larger town, and that is great. But I'm just so thankful for the small town community that I have to grow up in, and I'll always be thankful for that.
So do you think like once you graduate and like you said your major isn't really associated, but do you think that you'll still kind of like play a role in the, family business, and how do you plan on kind of staying involved but maybe not necessarily like in the daily operation?
I would say a big thing is, I'm in like constant communication with my dad through emails. We have an email thread with my entire family, and I just think it's important that even if I'm not there and if I'm not going to go back there, that I still understand like what's going on and what we're doing, like if we're still, how many cattle we're running at one time, because I think it's really important that when people ask me where I come from and I want to know, I don't just want to say and not really have any knowledge of anything that's going on. And so I very much say that I have a strong core knowledge about what is going on every single day, even though I might not be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my dad has really been great about making sure that that is a priority, and that like he sends me so many articles about feeder cattle and grain prices, and I mean he sends me the grain prices all the time if I need them or want them for any type of thing. I mean he gets text messages of grain prices every single day, so I mean I feel like I very much am still involved even though I'm not there.
That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you talking to me today and me getting to learn more about where you came from.
Well, thank you.